when I was born, my dad had already arrived in the country in London, England, a few months before, and my mum left me when I was about 2 or 3 years old. So I was living with my aunt, and already there was no stable home. As you can imagine, some people grow up and they might have their mum or their dad not present, but I had both of them not present, and I just struggled not even imagining, like I didn't even think I had parents, and I couldn't really relate to people because I knew for me, I didn't have a dad, I didn't have a mum that were visible or anything like that, and it was just a real struggle just even thinking about family or thinking about parents or anything like that. But I think how I felt through all of that was just confused. I just couldn't understand what's the normal way to live, what's a normal life, because other people may have had their parents or so, and I was just thinking, this is just life, it's just going through the motions. I mean, there was barely, like growing up in Odumase in Ghana, there was barely any electricity or food or anything like that. It was difficult to go through the days. What you really struggle with, or what I struggled with, was just really being able to exist or survive, because you know that every single day was just living on the edge of knowing that, yeah, it was just difficult. But I think not growing up in a stable home in Ghana, in Odumase, was just such a difficult thing, feeling very confused and feeling that, man, like, why am I even here on earth? Like, what am I doing with my life? Even though I was just really young. But how a lot of people, how you might be feeling because you didn't grow up with your mom, or you didn't grow up with your dad, or whatever situation you had in your family, in your home growing up. It's difficult, it's challenging, but what you can use is that you can relate to those that have struggled, and that's one thing I always felt. I always feel that people, a lot of my friends or a lot of people that I know, they might have not grown up with their dad being at home, and it's a struggle because you see the effects of it. The challenges are real. Like, let no one deceive you that a single parent home or not having your parents around, you can just get over that. But it's challenging, it's difficult, but it doesn't mean that it should stop you from achieving your goals. It doesn't mean that it should stop you from becoming who you were born to be. And so when you really understand and really look at where you're lacking, then you can really bridge through that. You can overcome all of those issues and all of those struggles that you've been through. And even my life in itself is an example of how low you can come through not growing up with your mom or your dad, and really still make the most out of it, because any single person, no matter what parent they were missing or what family dysfunctionality that you had, you can just keep on going and knowing that you can do better for your kids and be there for them, because it is a struggle. It is a struggle when you don't have you're not growing up in a stable family home. But as long as you really do the best for your own kids, then it makes life better, not just for you, but for the generations that are to come. A kid, I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and they sold it, and I remember the pain of them holding me back and me crying hard. And these scars that I have, whether it's this one or the ones on my hand, is so visible that people can see. But the worst sort of scars are the ones that you can't see.